Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Ameya and we are discussing today about Ultimaker Cura. Today we are going to discuss a very important point that is called the infill density. And this infill density property or a point is basically in user's hand, and we can control that infill density to get a better print. Okay, so let us understand what is infill density. We have discussed in previous videos also. There is an option called infill density in settings. Let's say I'm keeping it as 20 as of now, and I say slice. What it will do is the inside part of this 3D model, you will get the infill. Okay, so from inside part will be hollow, but it is very difficult to print a hollow part, so it is basically filling the 20% of the hollow part. Okay, so that basically saves my material, saves my time, and saves my cost. Okay, so when we are making prototypes, we always prefer to have an infill density. As you goes on increasing the infill density, your object will be much more filled from inside. So let's say I'm going for 75%. I'm slicing it again. For the same layer, you will see different infill. Okay, so now it is very finely filled object. So definitely it will take more time to print. It will take more material and it will cost more. But if it is a final product, it will be recommend. It is always recommended to keep infill density more than 60 to get the actual strength of your model. But if it is a prototype, we will always rep, rep, take infill density somewhere around 15 or 20, which will give you the idea of how that part will look like, and it will create my part. Okay, some of the features in infill which we are talking today is the pattern, infill pattern. Okay, there are different patterns. This is a grid pattern right now. So this pattern will decide how, what is the shape of infill you want. Okay, so if I'm going for triangles, it will generate a triangle structure inside the object. Okay, so all parts will be triangular, so part will be filled with a triangle. Then you have some cubic or octet structure. So there are different structures, you can try it out for different parts. Obviously different structures give the different strength, but in general, if you want to talk about, we always prefer to have a grid because that provides you the better strength. The difference between line and grid is very important. Line is basically giving one line of a grid in one layer. So if this is my first layer, the next layer will give me the other line of grid. The third layer will give me other line of a grid. So it is one line in one layer for a grid. Okay, that is lines. So that will also save your time, save your material, but maybe strength will be compromised. In cubic, you will have a structure which is increasing layer by layer. Okay, so if you check from top, you can see there is a change in layer. Okay, so that is a 3D structure which is getting created. So depending upon your requirement, you can always check different grids. You can visit Ultimaker Cura website to understand what is the benefit of which pattern of a grid. Okay, but if you are trying it for first time, you are going for a general application, you can always go with a grid that gives you the best result for the 3D printed part. Infill density we just discussed. You can have infill density around 15 to 20 if it is a normal part. If you are preparing a final model, you can go up to 50, 60, and if you go for 100%, that will be a complete solid part, but it will definitely get more time to print. There is one more option in infill density which we are looking today. That is, you can just shift to this recommended options, and there is an option called gradual infill. Okay, this is the advanced option which you get, and this is the recommended option when you want to print a final prototype. What gradual print will do is, gradual infill will do is, I'm just selecting this gradual infill. If you see, we cannot control the infill density now because of the gradual infill, and it is somewhere around 90. So my part will be filled with 90. That is not recommended because it will take more time. But the advantage is the infill will be gradual. Okay, so what do we understand by gradual infill? Just see, we have this infill. Now see, this is a very small part and this is a very big gap between these two. So here infill will be less, and in small areas infill will be more dense, and in larger areas it will be more coarse. So what basically it is doing is, it is basically varying your infill density depending upon the area which you are making. Okay, so sometimes it is useful, sometimes it will generate a different structure, weak structures, but see what happens at the top structure. So in between there will be very less infill, but once you start going to the final top layer, your infill goes on increasing. So this gradual infill is not just around the walls, it is about the top and bottom layer also. Okay, so it is always a recommended option, gradual infill, whenever you are trying to print the final product once you are done with all the prototyping. Okay, so this is the advanced option which you are having, but in gradual infill this option of selecting the infill will be deactivated. I will just deactivate gradual infill, and again you can control the infill density. Okay, so infill is one of the important control parameter in your 3D printing. So do select your infill density depending upon your requirement. Okay, try to understand what the infill density will do when it is trying to print a part. Okay, so this is what I want to discuss in this video. We will be coming for more videos related to Ultimaker Cura in the coming videos about the supports, adhesion, and all those things. Okay, if you like this content, do subscribe my channel, follow the playlist of Ultimaker Cura, and do share a word about channel those who are interested to learn 3D printing, CAD modeling, PDMS, AutoCAD, QCAD, and variety of softwares and tutorials which are available on my channel. Thank you for joining.